The Daily Mail. California mom Jessica Konen settles landmark victory against Spreckels Union School District for $100,000 after she claims her daughter was socially transitioned. Jessica Konen said her daughter, Alicia, 11, was told by Buena Vista Middle School that she was upset because she didn't know who she truly was inside. I think I know Buena Vista Middle School. Single mom Konen accused teachers of encouraging her daughter to think she was a trans boy when she was at the school in 2019. Wonder what happened after 2019. All right. Getting into the article here. But before we do, we need to talk about May Carson. She needs an operation. Go ahead and check out her Give, Send, Go. I will leave a link to it down in the description. And she's trying to raise $20,000. So if you have a couple bucks that you can spare, go ahead and give them to her so she can get this essential medical treatment. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed because YouTube does unsubscribe people every single day. And this right here is a bright spot in what has otherwise been a losing battle. It seems like that the non-woke people in the world have been losing out to the woke, but things might be turning around now. I do appreciate everybody stopping by and supporting my work, so I thank you for that. Please watch to the very end. There's the palate cleanser at the end. Anyway, and to the article. A California mother who said her daughter was socially transitioned into a trans boy by her middle school has won a landmark legal victory against the district, who settled the suit for $100,000. Jessica Conen's daughter, Alicia, 11, was allegedly told by Buena Vista Middle School in Spreckels that she was upset because she didn't know who she truly was inside. And what child does? These children are growing up way too fast. I wasn't having those thoughts until I was like 12, 13, something like that. It wasn't. She's 11 this year. That means in 2019 she was 7? Okay, that's like way too early to be having these experiences. The school allowed the child to use the boys' bathroom and male pronouns in class without her mom's consent. Yeah, okay. Single mom Konen accused teachers of encouraging her daughter to think she was a trans boy when she was at the school in 2019, only for the child to return to her female persona while learning remotely during the COVID-19 pandemic. And there it is. Wow, imagine that. Something I have never, ever badmouthed. Even though there's a lot of people out there saying that the lockdowns were terrible, they're the worst thing ever. I've never said that because I don't think that. Now, granted, it was hard on a lot of people who lost their income, lost their livelihood because they couldn't go out. That I understand that was terrible. But I didn't have anything bad to say about it because it didn't negatively impact me. That's the thing. So, I mean, some people want to go out and do things. I'm happy being at home. It's fine. I don't mind. I can work out here. People are saying I gained weight because the gyms were closed. I'm like, I worked out at home. I gained muscle and lost fat during that time. I don't know what to tell you. It was unconstitutional, of course, to lock everybody in their homes and close down all these businesses. So there is that. I mean, I understand that. It was not okay in that regard. But for me personally, I was like, dude, I get to sit at home and work? I'm loving this. So, but back to the article. Despite not admitting fault, the Spreckels Union School District's settlement marks an important moment in the debate across the U.S. about how parental rights fit in with children's decisions in school settings. Well, it's really quite simple. Unless there's actual physical harm being perpetrated by the parents, or even I guess it could be psychological and emotional harm too, depending on what the circumstances are. Maybe they're not harming them, but they're chaining them to a radiator every night. I imagine that would have some negative impacts on the person's psyche. The school has no right to step in, but the school even then has to get law enforcement involved. I would think they would have to go directly to law enforcement and be like, "This is what's happening in this home. It's illegal." So this is her, Jessica Konen. This must be her daughter, Alicia. So. Move on from that. Konen launched a legal claim against the school and 2 7th grade teachers in 2021, claiming they kept her daughter's phony trans identity secret from her and hid that she had been having suicidal thoughts. Yeah, that's a pretty serious thing you should be talking to the parents about immediately. I mean, it's like right then and there you go, oh, why is the child having suicidal thoughts? Let's get the parents involved. Let's find out what's going on at home. At the very least, let's find out what's going on at home that the child might be thinking about, ending their life. That's what I would be thinking immediately. The child is now attending high school in another district and has re-identified as a girl. Okay, so she was already in high school. So it must have been 11 probably when she was in middle school, right? That makes sense because she wouldn't be 7 when she was in middle school. This is just a poorly written article, which is kind of typical from what we're seeing these days. And these articles I read, they have bad punctuation, and they have the wrong words a lot of times, incomplete sentences, all this stuff. So, in her court papers, Konen says her daughter, identified by her initials AG, found distance learning difficult, but there was a silver lining because AG was at home throughout the school day. She was no longer in the clutches of Miss Caldera and Miss Baraki. Freed from their influence, Alicia began to return to her old self. Once Konen found out that her daughter was being identified as a male and socially transitioning without her knowledge, she sued the district. Following the landmark settlement, she told Fox News Digital that they need to understand their place and they need to stay in their place. And schools nowadays, they're awful. So I'm going to fight this fight and keep fighting this fight. I am not going to allow this to keep happening to children. I feel that the fight, it has to continue. Yeah, I mean, we can't be allowing strangers to come in and tell our children what to do. Parents need to be the ones saying, hey, look, this is what you're going to do, and we're going to guide you up into adulthood. Now, you do run into the problem that there are parents who are socially transitioning their children and even medically transitioning their children who are not of this persuasion. That's why this all needs to stop for children, period. Like, no, just we can't have this because it seems to be doing more harm than good overall. That seems to be the way that it is. Okay, if you want to change your gender, start doing it at 18 when you're an adult. We don't know what's going on inside of you. We don't understand this thing. Go ahead and do it at 18. Or we do understand it and everybody's lying to us, because what I've heard by, pursuing this information to make these videos is that, hey, this trans identity thing happens in men and only happens in men because they're trying to become the women of their dreams. So it's this weird twist of fetishization of a female, which men are much more prone to do than a woman is to fetishize a male. It's just how men are. It makes sense. And now we're seeing it in women, like Buck Angel thinks that he's a boy. For some reason, that was a weird sentence, but I'm not allowed to use the incorrect pronoun, according to the quote incorrect pronoun, according to YouTube. So, Buck Angel is a girl, no male reproductive organs, but takes testosterone, has big, huge muscles. Of course, getting older now and losing that strength, I'm sure. But anyway, just weird stuff going on with people, and maybe we should just take a step back and go, you know what? There's really no physical mechanism for you to be born in the wrong body. How does that happen? We don't have anything other than our physical body, and it develops a certain way. So we're going to be that certain thing, and you might be in between, but that's like really rare. So, speaking about her current relationship with her daughter, Konen said they're doing great and working together to be more open with one another. Well, you're not doing great because you're in LA. That's just, you can't be doing great and living in LA. That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand that. And maybe if you're rich and you're living there, that might be okay. But now I'm at it. I think it took a lot of guts for both of us to be able to open up publicly and explain what is happening. Maybe, but I don't see how, because you won you filed the lawsuit. So you believe that you were going to win the lawsuit. Otherwise, why would you file it? That doesn't make any sense. So if you thought you were going to win the lawsuit, then wouldn't you feel comfortable coming forward publicly and being like, hey, look, I'm doing this thing because it's wrong? I would. We definitely are going to be at peace and be able to try to move on from this, but parents, pay attention. Ask the questions that are offered. Okay? Ask the questions that are offered. That's strange. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations because you don't know what someone's going through. You don't know what they're teaching in schools anymore. Just be active in your kids' lives and don't be scared to speak up. Or maybe just get away from California and homeschool your kids. Dang. Mark Trammell, executive director of the Center of American Liberty, said at its core, this case is about upholding the sacred bond between parents and their children. Parents have an inherent right to be involved in pivotal decisions concerning their children's lives. The victory for the mother comes just days after California's Attorney General sued the school district regarding a new policy that requires teachers to notify parents if their child changes their identity or pronouns. Wow. So the Attorney General sued over this new policy that says you have to notify. Wow, that is... because the Attorney General, he knows. He's a medical practitioner. He knows. Yeah. No, this is the mother and her attorney. Attorney General Rob Bonta announced the lawsuit on Monday against the Chino Valley Unified School District in Southern California, alleging that its parental notification policy is discriminatory and violates both civil rights and privacy laws. They are minors. They are children. They don't... Dude, I teach. This is wrong. I am not allowed to tell a parent anything about the student's performance because it's a violation of privacy. Why? Because my students are adults. If I by chance... So if I have a student who is not considered an adult or who has, some sort of situation where their parent is in charge of their decisions, then I'm allowed to tell the parent. They can disclose the information. They can sign a waiver, and then I can disclose the information. Or if the child is a minor, I'm allowed to tell the parent. But that's it. This is ridiculous. They're like totally like twisting around the law and don't even understand it. He alleged that the policy puts transgender and gender nonconforming students in danger of imminent irreparable harm by risking they'll be outed to their household before they're ready. In July, the district school board held a public meeting on whether to adopt the policy, which requires in part school personnel to out transgender and gender nonconforming students to their parents or guardians without their consent and even against their expressed wishes as per the lawsuit. Well, the parents have like top bidding on this. It's not going to harm the student to be told that you're not the opposite gender. Stop it. You're not the opposite gender. Don't be stupid. More than 80 members of the community holding up signs and flags were in attendance and spoke out against the forced disclosure policy. And that's the end of that. Do we have some comments down here? Show more. Let's see. 100,000. It should have been 100 million. It's probably $1 million lawsuit or something. That's Jedi Master Yoda, my favorite Jedi. Let's see. Vote for vouchers and watch these trash schools and their trash teachers and trash administrators vaporize. Give kids and parents a choice for a change. As California Insider did an expose on the school district, as I recall. Well done for the mom and her beautiful daughter. These teachers are acting nefariously and with malice aforethought. Yes, they are. The damage they are doing is irreparable. Yeah, this whole, I'm trying to give the student a safe way of coming out and transitioning because the parents might be against it, we know that's all a Trojan horse for them to be able to transition your children because they think they know better than the parents do. We hear that all the time from these school boards. I'm an educator. I've been trained in education. I know better than you. What do you know about education? It's like, dude, my job is to educate my child. And the parents are more involved in that process, perhaps not like officially, right? I mean, where did you learn more as a child? From your parents or from the school? I learned more from my parents. I know that. 100,000 isn't much. No, it's not that much. It's life-changing, but in California, it won't go that far. So this is pretty good, though, that, that people are starting to wake up to this, and they're not going to stand for it, and they're going to protect their kids when the schools try to step in and make changes that they shouldn't be making. They have no business getting involved with. The school has no business on the physical health, no business dealing with the physical health of the child. The only reason that the school should be dealing with the physical health of the child is if the child's physical health is being harmed at home, or if they get injured on the school grounds or whatever, right? That would be it. So anyway, this is good news. We got a good story this time. Yes, all right. So let's go ahead and hop into the palate cleanser. Enjoy.